For as long as we've been listening, the deep, powerful song of the blue whale has been one of the most incredible sounds on Earth. But that's changing. Scientists are picking up on something really unsettling. The ocean's giants are going quiet. And the reason why? Well, it tells us a lot about some massive and frankly concerning changes happening in our oceans.
So if you're here, it's probably because you've heard about this, and you want to know why. Why is this happening? Well, we're going to get right into it. We'll break down the latest science and show you the two main reasons that seem to be silencing the largest animal on the planet.
All right, first things first. Let's look at the evidence. To really get why they're going silent, we need to understand what scientists are hearing, or maybe more importantly, what they're not hearing anymore. And the data shows a pretty alarming shift. So check this out. A 6-year study from the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute, or EMBRI, caught something jaw-dropping. During a huge marine heat wave, they saw a 40% drop in blue whale songs. I mean, let that sink in. 40%. That's not a tiny dip. That's like a world-famous orchestra suddenly losing almost half its musicians.
Okay, so this is crucial. Scientists are actually seeing two different things happen at the same time. For years now, the pitch of whale songs has been slowly getting lower, which is a whole other fascinating mystery. But now something much more urgent is happening. The whales are just not singing as much. And that's the mystery we're really digging into today.
So, what's culprit number one? Well, it looks like the first big reason for this silence isn't a choice they're making. It's a crisis. It seems the whales are being forced to go quiet because they're desperately trying to find food.
The timing here is everything. Remember that EMBRI study? It started right in the middle of this record-breaking marine heat wave that scientists nicknamed the blob. And this wasn't just some slightly warmer water. No, this was a massive, multi-year event that completely wrecked the whole ecosystem.
So how does a heat wave silence a whale? Well, that warm water basically blew up the food web. The tiny krill that blue and fin whales almost exclusively eat, they just vanished. And at the exact same time the food went away, so did their songs. But here's the clue. Humpback whales, which are a bit less picky and eat other things like anchovies, they kept singing. That comparison, that was the smoking gun.
An MBRE scientist, John Ryan, put it in a way that just hits you. He said, it's like trying to sing while you're starving. It makes perfect sense, right? When every ounce of your energy is going into finding your next meal just to survive, you don't have anything left over for complex social behavior. It's just survival mode.
Okay, so a food crisis is forcing them into silence. But that's only half the story. The other part of this problem isn't about what's missing from the ocean, but what we've added to it. And what we've added is a whole lot of noise.
You know, for most of history, the sound of the ocean was, well, natural. It was wind and waves and animal calls. But over the last 100 years or so, we've completely changed that. Now, the low-frequency drone from container ships and tankers has created this constant, worldwide layer of noise.
And here's where the problem gets real. It's a direct conflict. Blue whale songs are incredibly powerful, but they happen at a very low frequency. And guess what else exists in that exact same sound space? Yup, the rumble from giant ship engines. It means the constant noise from human shipping is literally drowning out the calls whales need to find each other, to mate, and to navigate.
This whole phenomenon has a name. It's called acoustic masking. But really, it's just the underwater version of you trying to have a deep conversation with someone right next to a giant speaker at a rock concert. The whales' messages, they just get lost. They can try to yell over the noise, which takes a ton of energy, or they can just give up and go silent.
So we have starving whales, and they're struggling to be heard in an ocean that's just getting louder and louder. And why does this matter? Well, it goes way beyond just the whales themselves. Their silence isn't just a sad story. It's a huge warning sign for all of us. Scientists call animals like blue whales sentinels of ocean change. Think of it like the old canary in a coal mine. Because their lives are so tied to these huge ocean processes, their health and their behavior, they're like a thermometer for the health of the entire ocean. So when you connect the dots, you see how their silence is the last link in this chain reaction. First, the ocean heats up and gets noisier. Then, the food web collapses. Then, the whales go quiet. And that silence,
That's the alarm bell telling us the whole system is in serious trouble.
And there's a cultural cost here too. This is amazing. These songs aren't just random noises. They're complex, learned dialects, passed down through generations. They're the foundation of whale society. They use them for everything from finding a mate to a mother keeping track of her calf. When you disrupt that song, you start to break down their very culture, which could absolutely devastate their chances of survival.
So the situation is pretty serious. But, and this is a big but, it's not hopeless. The same science that's showing us what's wrong is also pointing us toward how to fix it. The real question is, can we get our act together in time?
So what can we actually do? Well, the science gives us a pretty clear roadmap. We can tackle the noise problem by building quieter ships and creating protected, quiet zones in the ocean. We can tackle the hunger problem by protecting the key areas where krill live, and of course we have to keep listening, using that same acoustic monitoring to see if what we're doing is actually working.
Ultimately, when you boil it all down, the goal is pretty simple. We need to give these incredible animals an acoustic refuge, a place where their voices can finally be heard again, and a stable supply of food so they actually have the energy to sing in the first place.
The story of the blue whale, it's a really powerful reminder that everything we do has ripples across the whole planet. Their fading song makes us ask a much bigger question. It's not just about the whales. As we keep changing the climate and the soundscape of our world, you have to wonder who or what is going to be the next to go quiet.